What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Just an Era podcast. This week, we are going to touch base on how to be more feminine because if you've been following my journey for the last 3 years, you know I've changed a lot as a person and I've become more feminine, being more confident using makeup, wearing heels, dresses, playing around with makeup and accessories. And as someone who used to be a huge tomboy growing up, playing ice hockey, field hockey, lacrosse, I was just not into that type of stuff. I've done a full 180 in not only my appearance but my inner self. So I want to touch base with that for you guys. For anybody that is looking to become more feminine or just build confidence with becoming just overall more girly inside and out. But before we get into that, a little housekeeping. Obviously, make sure you're following Justin Era Podcast on Instagram. I just did a recent giveaway, giving away a Ninja Creamy, and that went amazing. I loved the way I did that. So I think I'm going to be doing my giveaways pretty much the same way every single time. I do have another giveaway coming up for my Austin locals. I'm going to be giving away a gift card to Donata's, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, stay on the lookout for that. I can't help but just um tell you guys what the giveaways are. I'm like, I want to try to keep it a secret, but then I'm just like, whatever. I spill the beans and I tell you what it is early on. But yeah, anyways, weekly eras this week. My weekly era is two-tone jewelry. I touched base on this a little bit last week, but earlier in the week, me and my boyfriend, because we had my 1 year and my birthday in 1 week, my boyfriend had to like scramble and figure out what the hell he was going to do for two gifts back to back. And unfortunately, he did buy me a watch from Kendra Scott for my birthday. And if you guys know, my grandmother, I got a lot of her jewelry after she passed away, one of them being her watch. So yeah, it was just really bad timing. And I felt bad telling him like we have to return it because like I don't see myself ever really taking off my grandmother's watch. And it just has now a lot more meaning to it than it would than my boyfriend's gift. So, we went to the store and ended up getting, we returned to the Kendra Scott and we went over to Majuri and I got a white gold ring. Yes, it's on my fucking left index finger or whatever. It's on my wedding ring finger, okay? Um, you know what? I just didn't have a ring there and I like it, okay? And I'm gonna keep it there. But look at the two-tone jewelry on my finger. I am obsessed with it. And my watch is mixed gold as well. And I think I'm gonna continue to do that, building up my white gold. So that way I have mix of two-tone all over my body, even my necklaces, bracelets. But I'm really liking the two-tone. Especially if one day, your girl does get a wedding ring, you never know. I need to make sure I have the silver and the gold going on. But yeah, and then my weekly purchases of the week are gonna be rubber duckies. You guys know I got a new car. I got a 2024 Jeep Wrangler, and ducking cars and ducking Jeeps, whatever, is such a common thing to do. And I just struggle to get lucky with someone ducking me. So, what I decided to do is I'm going to spread the love and positivity throughout Austin, Texas. And I'm going to start ducking people. So, I bought about 100 rubber duckies and this cute little baggie. And I'm going to make a series out of it on TikTok, ducking other Jeeps in Austin. And hopefully, if someone sees that video come across their For You page and they're like, holy shit, that's my car, they'll duet it and it will just be so fun. So, if you live in Austin and you have a Jeep, I may find you one day. We never know. And if I do, that would be so fucking cool because now you have a little rubber ducky. And I got cool rubber ducks. They're not like the boring ass, like, yellow, no personality ducks. They're sick. We got princesses, pirates, and animal formed ones. Like, I don't know. Cool. So be on the lookout for that on TikTok for that series. But let's get into my Love Island. You guys know I've been ranting about Love Island. I just want to say and put it out there, I've been watching Love Island since it started in the US and even before that. So for anyone that's going to come for me being like, oh my God, like you're new to the show. No, I'm not. I just never really talked about it because I didn't realize that many people were actually into it. And obviously, Love Island USA now is becoming more popular. So I can talk about it more. So we obviously saw the finale, and if you haven't seen the finale, please skip through this. But you must be living under a rock if you haven't watched the finale yet. I will say I skimmed through the entire first 75% of the show. I just find the dates and all the lovey-dovey stuff to be so boring and so fake from majority of the couples. Like Kendall and Nicole, it's just fake. It's staged. I'm just not a fan of it. Like the fact that she didn't even say "I love you" to him, that was just a little weird to me because I've already been skeptical about their relationship. So I just don't like watching like the romantic dates. Like, just show me who the fuck won, okay? And then we can see all the lovey-dovey moments after. So, skipped all the way to the finale. Obviously, I knew Aaron and Kaylor, they got kicked out of the final four. So happy about that. And I just hope like Aaron went home, looked at his phone, and was like, fuck, like I really am like that guy that no one likes because the way he moved and snaked around the villa, I did not like it. So happy they got kicked out and we had the final four. And Serena and Cordell won. I didn't even get to vote because I'm an idiot. And on Friday night or whatever night it was that I had to vote, I just forgot about it. I'm pissed about it. So didn't get to vote, but internally I voted for Cordell and Serena, and I'm so happy that they won. They are so freaking cute, and they like just I don't know. They are my favorite, and I feel like they are going to be the ones that are going to make it long term. And the rest of the couples, as much as I love Leah and Miguel, I just don't really see it working out long term. I mean, who knows? You never know. I really do. I hope they can work out long term, but I don't know. Kendall and Nicole, I don't see it happening. And then Janae and Kenny, I feel like Janae is going to scare the shit out of Kenny, and Kenny's going to run away because he's gonna be like, damn, this girl is crazy. I just feel like she is picturing like future with him way too much, talking too much about like Kenny's mom and wanting to see Kenny's mom and meet Kenny's dad and like marriage and kids and like I get people joke about that, but I don't know. He's 24, she's 27, so like there's always like a truth to a joke. Like, yeah, she can be joking about it, but like she's being dead ass. Like we all know she's being dead ass. Um, so yeah. And for after the villa or after like getting off the island, they all got their phones back and so much shit has happened in the last like 24 hours. Not even 24 hours since the episode came out because I'm recording this on Monday morning and the episode came out on Sunday. Did you guys see Kaylor talking shit on the phone with ex-Islander Sydney about Leah? So, backstory, if you didn't get the chance to see it, but I reposted a TikTok, so just go to my TikTok repost. But basically, Aaron went on Instagram and was like, "Hey guys, let's do a Q&A." And in the background of that video, you can hear Kaylor on the phone with Sydney, and Sydney goes, "Don't worry, in 6 months, no one's gonna give a fuck about Leah." And then Kaylor proceeds by going, "She blah blah blah," and then like the conversation goes on. But it's so caught like in front of you. You can clearly say her saying that, and then of course Sydney is gaslighting everyone, being like, "I said it about myself. I said myself. I said no one's gonna give a fuck about me in 6 months." And I'm like, you can literally hear her say Kaylor, and if she was talking about herself, Kaylor wouldn't even say she blah blah blah. She would have said you are. So they're obviously talking about somebody, not Sydney, if that makes sense. But just go watch the video because the tea is piping fucking hot. And then Rob literally flew from Fiji straight to Alex Cooper's house. Like, what the hell happened there? That happened so quickly. I'm like, the poor man is not catching a break. I mean, he obviously wants to go on Call Her Daddy so bad. Like, who wouldn't? But I'm like, this man needs like a 10-hour fucking night sleep. He needs a bunch of water. He needs to just hibernate and not socialize or talk to females for at least like 2 weeks because he just looks exhausted. Like when they Love Island posted a video of him outside the villa, I was like, damn, like you could just see it in his eyes. He looks like he's been crying for like hours on end. Like, you know, when you're just like crying all night and you wake up and you have like puffy eyes, that's like what it looked like. Sorry, guys, I'm holding my coffee. And one thing about me is I always end up just letting my coffee get cold. Um, what else has happened with the freaking Love Island drama? There's so much. Um, oh, Kendall's like nudes getting leaked. Are we kidding? Like that was actually insane. I feel as much as I don't stand like can't stand Kendall and Nicole, I just feel so bad for him that he got some video leaked about him. Clearly, like, I guess an ex or somebody had that and just leaked it. Like, what is wrong with people? What in their right mind thinks, oh, yeah, this is a good idea to leak this video of someone I used to talk to with their fucking ass cheeks spread open? You can literally see, like, their private parts. Like, what is wrong with people? And it's like, he's already leaving the villa, getting probably a good amount of hate just for his relationship and people thinking he's faking it. So like imagine logging on your phone, seeing all that hate, and then a few hours later then seeing a video of you getting leaked and it's like completely violating and like should not be on the internet. Like what the fuck? So like I do feel bad for him and hopefully he can fucking like sue somebody. I don't know how that shit works, but like I feel bad for him and yeah, he's going through it. So I'm really excited though about the reunion because now with everything that's happened outside the villa so quickly, it's like there's gonna probably be so much tea within the next month. And I really, really hope it's one of those reunions where people like stand their ground and they speak how they feel about other people because you cannot tell me all of those people lived in the villa for over 6 to 8 weeks and everyone got along. Like, you cannot tell me that. We can already tell with Janae that Janae doesn't fuck with some of the girls. Like, you could kinda start to see it towards the end of the season with Kaylor. Like, she wasn't really having the hots for Kaylor. Like, she was like, "I'm sick of her. She complained so much." So, I'm just excited to see, like, how much she gets dropped in podcasts and stuff like that before the actual reunion, and then hopefully they're all in front of each other and they'll just all hash it out. But we'll see. But Peacock is doing a really good job at just, like, promoting Love Island this year. Like, that shit blew up. And it's sick to see, chicks in the office getting that opportunity to go over to Fiji and, like, interview all the islanders right off the island. Like, they're that's such a great business opportunity for them. So they should be proud of themselves for even getting themselves foot in the door for that. So, anyways, w- all of last week, I just wanted to really lay low, not leave the house, not do a lot because you guys know I've been fucking going crazy. And this was my first week after my birthday, not really doing anything during the week. No plans. No one was here. Like I was living by myself. So, besides work stuff, the only real thing that I needed to get done was getting my pool installed on Wednesday. So, Wednesday from like 8 a.m. to noon, I had people at my house installing my pool. Went pretty smoothly. I have a cowboy pool. I am vlogging the entire experience. So, don't worry if anyone's looking to get a cowboy pool in their backyard. Like, I'm going to be vlogging the whole thing, my whole process, and you'll see it later on. So, just sat around on Wednesday doing that, just doing computer work. And then fast forward to Friday, I just kinda laid by my pool because it was finally ready. I mean, it looks like shit right now with, like, my dirty backyard, grass is all destroyed, like, because we have to install the deck too, so it looks really weird right now, but I was like, "I'm gonna sit by my pool anyway and sit in the pool and tan." For the afternoon. So I did that, and then I had a gift card to a restaurant that I have never heard of. Barley Swine. I don't know. The Austinites are coming at me in the fucking comments for saying it wrong, but basically what it is it's a like 12-course omakase experience, and it's like American food, not even American food. I don't even know what it's just like a mix of all different types of food because you had like kebabs, you had a steak, and then you had like meatball and a salad. Like it was just all a bunch of bites. So it was $115 a person. I had a $200 gift card. And then we ended up getting also a $65 bottle of wine, which every single time I get a bottle of wine, me and my boyfriend always look at each other and we're like, we regret that. Why did we do that? We can never finish a bottle of wine. Cause like ideally, if I could just have like a glass and a half of wine at dinner, like that's what I want. That's like my cup of tea is a glass and a half. Cause if I have two glasses, I'm down. I am a lightweight. I'm too drunk. Like, take me the fuck home. So a glass or a bottle of wine is anywhere from like 4 to 5 glasses of wine. And I just knew I was like, fuck, we really fucked this up. And because we were also at an omakase experience where like we're eating like bite-sized food and I'm having so much alcohol, I'm like, I'm getting drunk quicker because you're sitting there for an hour and a half and you have 12 courses within an hour and a half, but they're all bites. So like each course that comes out is like one bite and nothing more. So like hardly fucking ate. It's not a restaurant I would recommend. I already did a TikTok about this. It's just like the food was not good at all. I've already done like omakase experiences before with sushi. And guys, I was blown away by the taste and just like the texture of all the food. Like you could tell they put a lot of time and thought into the things that they were putting on our plates. Where I feel like this place was just meh, like meh, not a fan of it. Um, so I mean, if you want to go check it out and do whatever you want, I'm not a fucking food critic. Like I'm just saying what I think, and I wasn't a fan. I don't think it was worth $115 without any liquid. Like then I had to buy a bottle of wine for $65. So it was like pretty fucking expensive dinner. So still left. I was still hungry. So went home, had a massive bowl of dessert, which I already had dessert. So that was 12 courses, and three of the courses were dessert. So like I already had dessert too, but I was like, I'm still hungry. So I was like, I'm gonna make another bowl of ice cream. Did that. And yeah, pretty much went to bed. So like I feel like if you're doing like a experience like that for dinner, like you should feel stuffed leaving, if, especially with how much you're paying. And you should be like blown away, like, fuck, like that one course that I have was so good. Like, how do I recreate that? I want to make it. But everything I was just, I don't know. So then on Saturday, woke up, went to the Raw Dog Run Club, and the Raw Dog Run Club this time was at Cabana Club, which is a new like pool club bar. It's massive. It's on the east side, I think on 7th Street. And it's really, really close to like the Montopolis Bridge slash park. So you pretty much run through there. You do like a big loop. It's a nice um like route that you run. I honestly like it better than the San Matero's one. It's about 2.6 miles, so it's longer than the San Matero's run. Um and then after, if you guys want, you can shower off and then hop in the pool. So I did that for a little bit, but then I was like, okay, time to go home. Like, I miss my dogs. Any excuse I can get home, I'm like, ah, my dogs. So got home and then pretty much just sat by my pool on my deck, in my lounge chairs all afternoon. I had one of my best girlfriends come over with her dog. So her mom lives here as well, and her mom bought a Frenchie. And so I was like, oh my God, like, please bring the Frenchie over. I need them to all have a play date. Like three Frenchies running around my house. Like, what better like dream could that be? So she brought the other Frenchie over, and he's like, I think like 8 months. Like, he's tiny, he's so small. And then we just kind of let them hang around. I wanted to see if my boys could swim in the pool. I bought them life jackets on Amazon. They're shark life jackets. They're so cute. So I'm like, the whole time they're swimming and running around, I'm like, baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. And they didn't like it at all. Cheese was okay with it, but Mac, he fucking hated it. Mac is heavy. So like Mac sinks. Mac is not a very like he's athletic, don't get me wrong, like, he jumps, he does parkour all through the house when he has zoomies, but, like, he's not athletic at all, he's so heavy. But Cheese, he's, like, a lighter Frenchie, so he was doing fine, but I don't really know, it was just gonna take them getting used to it, whereas my friend's dog, on the other hand, loved it. He was sitting on her lap the entire time in the pool. Um, so yeah, and they all got along, which I was excited about. But later in the day, I then had to, get out, get ready for dinner. I wanted to, of course, go to another new place because I try to go to at least 1 to 2 new places in Austin every weekend because Austin is one of those cities where there's new bars and restaurants and coffee shops every other weekend popping up. It's actually crazy and hard to keep up with. Like, I truly don't feel like I can keep up with it. But that's one thing I love doing. Like, I've never gone somewhere where I'm like, hating it, like well, I mean, I guess that restaurant I went to on Friday, but to be fair, I wouldn't have picked to go there. It was just because I had a gift card. Um, but this place I went to is already an owner of a bunch of other bars, so I was like, "I already know I'm gonna love this place, and they have frozen drinks, sign me up." So we went to Chalmers. We went to Chalmers on the east side. It's owned by also the person that owns Dainty Dillo and Armadillo Den, so you just know it's gonna be a good time. And I saw this place on Instagram, and what I knew of this place was that it is an old gas station that they flipped and turned into a bar, which is so stinking cool. Like, you walk in and, like, as you know, gas station pumps are like in the front. So the whole patio is in the front. So they turned the gas station pump area into the bar with like TVs and everything. So we sat out there. There was a bunch of misters because it's really hot. It was like 100 degrees. So I was like, oh my God, am I going to be able to survive out here? Which we did because they had the misters. And then we got two frozen drinks. They had a dirty Shirley and then they had a Mexican martini. They were both so good. And then we ended up getting food too because we were like, this is going to be our place to get food. Like, I just want something casual, like either it's a food truck or like one of these places. So I got their tacos and he got their wings and a salad. And the food I thought was really fucking good. Like, I was just a little bit questioned by the tortillas they were using for the tacos. It was like naan bread. It was thick ass like garlic naan bread. Um, but all in all, it was still really good. His wings were good. He got like the hot honey ones and it was like some lettuce cucumber salad that he got. But Overall, it was pretty cheap too. Like, think about it this way. Friday night dinner was over almost $400, like almost 400. And then um on Saturday night, my bill or tab was like $70. And I got food. We got a bunch of food. And then we got four drinks total. So it's like, what are you choosing? Are you choosing the high end expensive restaurant on Friday night, or you're choosing to go to like a casual bar spot where you can get frozen drinks and some food from like a little window in the bar? I'm choosing the Saturday night any day of the week. Like, so much better. I'm more of like an atmosphere person rather than like spending money on like luxury. So I just liked being more casual. I mean, I'm still dressing up though. Like I wore a little short, little maxi dress or maxi dress. No, short maxi dress. That doesn't make sense. A mini like tight dress, tube top dress. Um, yeah, did that, and then friends met up with us, and we ended up just hanging out for a little while. Ended up getting, I think, 3 drinks while we are there, and I got an espresso martini too. So I got 2 frozen drinks and an espresso martini. I will say the frozen drinks are, like, my way to go. Espresso martini wasn't, like, the best. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't, like, my favorite. So yeah. And as we're sitting there and we're hanging out, guys, this is some fucking piping hot tea. And you know what's funny is, like, this person who used to be one of my good friends that y'all wanted to be on my podcast, like, not even this one, my other one that I did with Taylor, like, y'all wanted this individual on the podcast, like, all the time. Like, she was one of our good friends, you know? And come to find out, which I don't talk shit about this girl, like, at all. I just tell you what she's doing about me. So it may seem like, oh, yeah, like, when she's listening to this, she talks about me so much. Yeah, I'm talking about the shit you do. Like, you are a shitty friend. She is running herself into the ground by talking about me so much that people are catching on to it and bringing it up to me and then being like, yeah, dude, like, she talks so much about you. And it's like, and I literally said to my friend, I was like, isn't it crazy that, like, I allowed you to, like, figure it out yourself, and, like, I kinda stayed silent and never brought up me and hers, like, issues because I wanted you to figure it out yourself, and I'm not gonna make other people hate her because of what I'm saying about her. Whereas she's the opposite. She runs around saying shit about me to try to get everyone to hate me, and it's the fucking weirdest concept I've ever seen because it's like, isn't it common sense? The more you talk about someone, like, you're ruining it for yourself. People are gonna start to not wanna be around you because of how much shit you talk about somebody. Like, very odd. So basically, what I ended up finding out is that she is my number one Reddit troll. So how lovely is that? She goes on my Reddit, reads everything like on the daily, and will like go look at, keep in mind, our friends, because we share friends. And we'll be like, oh my God, like, did you see what these people are saying about her on Reddit? And like reading all the threads. And like, I can imagine she's probably commenting shit too, like weird. And like, my one friend told me this the other night at the bar. He was like, dude, like, yeah, which this is a guy. She would always, like, bring it up to me, and I'd be like, "Why do you care so much?" Like, he would think that, he wouldn't say that, he'd be like, "Why does she care so much? Like, it's weird." And I'm like, "See? She's literally running herself into the ground of misery and jealousy, and she's just extremely unhappy in her life." And it's one of those things where it's like, you have a friend like that where you know when you are friends with them that they're very unhappy and they got shit going on in their life, and you, like, wanna feel bad for them, but then they start to turn it on you and like project their issues onto you and be like a bad friend. It's like, okay, you can't be friends like that. You can't be friends with people like that that are like so miserable in themselves that it's sad to say because like you want to be able to be there for a friend like that and you want to be able to help them and you want to maybe help them to be more secure in themselves, but they end up ruining it and ruining your friendship. And yeah, you can't be friends with people, especially in your 20s. Like, if you're meeting people early on in your 20s and you realize someone's insecure, like, you just can't be friends with them because they will not be a good friend to you down the road. And it's funny, her and her little bestie, like, listen to this podcast too, so it's like, they're gonna hear all about this. So yeah, tea fucking piping hot. And then Oh, and then speaking of that, so then I tell my one of my best friends about it because she wasn't with me that night, and she goes, "That's so fucking funny and ironic because I literally bumped into somebody else that night that was like, "Oh, why do you never hang around so and so anymore?" And then my friend was like, "Yeah, we just like don't get along. Like it doesn't matter." And she goes, "Yeah, she was always talking about you guys." So like two people in one night told me and my friend that she talks about us so much. Craziness. Anyways, so we ended up leaving the Chandler's bar and go to the Cabana Club because my friend has a friend that works there and was like, it's their opening day. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, like it's opening day, like it's gonna be lit, it's gonna be so much fun. Little did I know it was like opening day during the day. Like it was a pool party during the day. I thought it was gonna be like lit at night. Get there, it's not lit. Like no music, no DJ playing, like dark. And we're all just sitting in the dark corner. And I'm like, okay, we need to get the fuck out of here. So me and a few of us just like left and went home. I was like, this was not worth the Uber ride. But yeah, it's okay. I was out anyways till like 10:30, 11. So I was happy to get home and go to bed because I love sleeping. So yeah. Anyways, that was my weekend. Sundays, I pretty much do the same thing. Rot in the morning, go get breakfast, coffee, go to the grocery store, come home, and then meal prep, make lunch. And now, when the weather's nice, tan, lay in my pool. So that's what I did all of Sunday. But yeah, let's get into it. Becoming more feminine, inside it out. That is something that I have been wanting to achieve over the last year or so. And I feel like I'm finally in a place where I'm very comfortable and confident in myself. And it's been a long journey. It's been something that like wasn't comfortable at first. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? What is my style? What is my fashion? Like, who am I? And these are just my tips and tricks to building that other side of you. Because at the end of the day, like, for someone like myself who was so masculine, I was always getting things done. I grew up in a house of all boys. So that's just where I'm coming from when I talk about this. But like, I grew up taking care of myself, being emotionless, not expressing how I'm feeling, not really knowing how to do hair, makeup, and like just being very masculine in my feminine energy, if that makes sense. So once you're able to become more feminine and kind of like take the back seat and kind of let go, turn your brain off, that's when you're able to become more feminine. And for me, growing up, like I was always taking the front seat. I was always the one like doing the man's work. So I was doing like the yard work. I was doing house projects, painting my room if it needed to be painted, building all the wardrobe stuff, like anything that a guy's job, quote for quote, like my parents taught me to do. So like that kind of had its pros and cons of like, yes, I'm stable enough to do things on my own, but also at the same time, like I just lacked that ability to take the back seat and like kind of let somebody else take over and allow my like feminine side to come out. So you can probably take a hint as to what my first thing is going to be. And like, obviously, this comes with time and like finding your person. But like, the first thing for me that had a huge role was getting a boyfriend. And when you find that right person, because I've had boyfriends in the past and I was still in my masculine. Like, my other boyfriends never really brought this side out of me. And now I'm in a relationship where that my boyfriend brings that side out of me, where I just want to be girly. I want to be cute. I want to be like tiny and just like forget about the world outside of me when I'm with him. And having a boyfriend has played a huge role in my feminine side coming out more. Um, he's been able to make me feel more comfortable and just like take the back seat. So if you've been somebody that has been in your masculine for so long, whether it's with a boyfriend or without a boyfriend, like your boyfriend will play a huge role in that. So like I'm not gonna say, "Oh, it's you're with the wrong person," or whatever, but, like, you can find your feminine energy still being in a relationship with someone, like, you're not gonna put all that, like, blame onto somebody else, but I will say, like, a boyfriend does play a huge role in that if you are wanting to become more feminine. So, that's just my number one thing that I noticed right away is, like, when I got in a relationship, my feminine side just started to blossom, and it helped me find who I am, like, this is it sounds so corny and gross to say, but, like, when I'm with him, like, I have, like, a little baby voice that comes out. I am just, like, I wanna be tiny and cute and, like yeah, that's just how I feel with him and, like, my other past boyfriends, like, I didn't really have that side come out. I was just, like but to be fair, I was in high school and college, so I was still playing sports. I was never dressing up. I didn't know anything about hair, makeup, whatever, so it's just, like, all of these are big key roles with one another, but that's just what it is for me when I am with my boyfriend is, like, I just I wanna be a girly girl. Okay. So, and then number 2, which this is fucking, like, way out there, but it's something that worked for me, and it was getting a boob job. I know boob jobs are expensive. It's not realistic for everyone, but it's something that I've wanted for a really, 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 really long time. Like pushing 3 years before I actually got it done. And I had nothing. I was an A cup. I was flat. There was nothing there. And I tried for the longest time, like to feel more girly through clothing. And it just never really worked because every time I would put on a top, I'd be like, fuck, like, I'm just so flat chested. There's nothing there. Like, I just don't even look cute in this. And like, it was just an insecurity of mine. Now I'm saying, like, I'm not saying like everyone and their mother needs to go get a boob job to be more girly. Like, you can find what works for you. But if you've had a boob job in the back of your head and you've been wanting to do it, like, I don't see no problem with it. I don't shame any other girl that's gonna get a boob job. I don't shame a girl if they want to get a BBL. I don't shame a girl if they want to get. Okay. I will shame someone if they're gonna go on fucking Ozempic or um liposuction, whatever. Because like, go to the gym and learn how to live a healthy lifestyle first. Okay, we've already had that whole tangent on my Snapchat, but I will say, like, if you want to get something done, like a nose job or Botox or lip filler, do it, girl. Like, you only live once. You're only in your 20s once. You're only whatever age you want to get it done, like once. So if you want to go get it done, you can. And guess what? Boob job. If you really, really do hate it and you regret it, okay, get them removed. Like, you can play around with it for 5 years. If you ended up hating it after 5 years, take them out. Like, I think this was the best decision I could have made for myself. Like, I'm just more confident, I'm more girly. And like, ever since getting a boyfriend and getting my boobs done, like, there was a huge flip in my switch in my brain. And I just wanted to try everything. And that's where we kind of get into all of these other little key factors that played a huge role for me. Um, I also had to stop lifting weights so much because, yes, I got surgery. This is a very invasive surgery where you can't hit upper body for almost like 3 to 4 months. And then chest, I can't remember the last time I hit chest. So I did take a step back in working out for a while. And because of that, it was honestly perfect timing because I was getting very burnt out from lifting. So didn't work out. And then getting back into it was very hard. I loved hitting legs, still do love hitting legs, but upper body was just one of those things where I was just like, fuck, like, I just don't have the desire to be doing this anymore. So I found working out and other avenues that I really loved. I love going to workout classes, berries, Pilates. Well, I don't go to Pilates. I go to solid core every now and then. And then running. So like, finding other avenues of working out, not just lifting. Like, I just felt like lifting so much took away from my femininity. And you know what? That can be a controversial conversation because I know there are going to be, girls that compete out there and girls that do bodybuilding and are like, well, I'm very feminine. Like, I feel feminine. It's like, okay, to each their own. You're allowed to feel that. But just for me personally, like, I just wanted to have other avenues of working out. And that's what it was for me. So, um, having a mix of everything, running, Pilates, berries, lifting weights, literally all of it. I feel like I've tried it all. And I'm just doing what works for me. Um, Number 4, dressing up more. Stepping out of your comfort zone and dressing up way above and beyond of the event at hand. One thing for me that I really needed to focus on was kind of finding my style. So I was very tomboy. I would wear dunks. I still have all my dunks. I think I have like 30 pairs of different colors of dunks with those cargo pants and little tanks. Like, that's what I would wear as fashion. And so starting there was a really good thing for me because, like, yes, I could still look like a tomboy by wearing the dunks, but I would like change up the tops and wear like cute push up bras and like whatever. But like, doing it in the sense of it's gonna get uncomfortable and it's gonna be something that you never expected to wear, and adding in fun colors. Like, just changing up your style, buying pieces that like aren't something that you're comfortably used to wearing, and just adding it to your closet to find your style. Because the only way you're gonna be able to find your style is getting uncomfortable with it and seeing if you actually like it, seeing if you feel confident in it, and going from there. And one thing I've been doing and I have had a problem with is spending money on clothes. Like, it's a new now found thing that I love to do. And you would never have thought 3 years later, I would have a house and my guest bedroom would be like basically a walk-in closet because I have so many clothes. So, um, just getting dressed up more, even if you think like, oh, I'm overdressing, like, who cares? I like, nowadays, I just love overdressing. We'll go to a food truck. and I'll wear jeans and like little kitten heels and a tank and have my hair up in a high pony. Like, I don't care. I could have easily have worn pajamas there, but no, I wanted to dress up. I wanted to look cute because I work from home. I don't get a lot of places to go out and people see me like, I'm gonna dress up. And then number 5 is playing with makeup and accessories. As someone who didn't even know how to use concealer or bronzer, here we are now. I have a full makeup routine and I am obsessed with it. I love doing makeup and I love playing around with new products. So, one thing you got to try, I know makeup can be expensive, is just go to CVS, get the drugstore makeup, learn how to use the drugstore makeup, learn how to where your placement is, learning what your shades are, even going to Sephora and asking dumb questions. Like I would go to Sephora and ask like the stupidest questions of like what concealer would you recommend? And it's like, of course, they're just gonna recommend whatever is fucking trending on TikTok. But just like asking questions and getting like hands-on experience with like someone at Sephora does help a lot. Or going with a friend, ask a friend, hey, she does makeup, she loves doing her makeup. Like, ask her, and be like, hey, will you come with me to Sephora just so we can like try to find more products? Like, there's no shame in asking one of your girlfriends for help with fashion, hair, makeup, accessories. Like, we're girls. We love that shit. So like if I had a friend, which I do have a few friends that like are a little bit more like on the tomboyish side and that don't know that stuff and like they'll come to me now and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love this. Like let's go to Sephora. Let's go to the mall and go shopping for clothes. Like sign me up." Um, so makeup is one thing. You don't have to go to the Sephora. You can go to CVS. You can get whatever you want. Like it doesn't have to be expensive. I used to go to CVS and buy like the cheap stuff, or even TJ Maxx or Marshalls and get whatever I can get my hands on just to like experiment with it. And then for accessories, Amazon's great. And then like any other like Francesca's or something like that with the cheap jewelry, but just because you're in a transition period where you don't want to be spending money on good product until you find what actually works for you. So finding like the cheaper stuff, spending your money on the cheaper stuff so you can kind of experiment, learn, figure out what you like. And then when you do know what you like, you can buy the more expensive stuff. So now I'm in a place where like I know what my style is with jewelry. I love the chunky stuff. I love just being layered up. So I've been just spending money on like nicer jewelry. Like this is like these two rings are like real gold rings and it's like I know these aren't going to tarnish. I know I'm going to have these long term, so I would rather do that than having to every other year buy new rings because they tarnish. So just playing around, getting the cheaper stuff, and being comfortable using whatever makeup you're gonna get and accessories. Also like sunglasses from Amazon. I That's one thing I will never spend real money on is sunglasses. So getting your sunglasses from Amazon and like using that as a cute accessory. Like I love just having like the fashion, like trendy sunglasses just for the outfit as an accessory. And then purses, like I love getting Coach purses. I think they're not like designer, but they're also not like cheap. They're like anywhere from like 200 to $400 for a bag, but those bags like I think I have like 4 or 5 of them. I just love them. Coach is like my favorite place to go get bags just cuz like you feel like you have a designer bag, but you really don't. I don't know. It's like I would compare it to like Michael Kors or Steve Madden. So yeah. And then number 6 is cutting out energy drainers. Less friends, meaning more connections. When you're in your feminine, you just want to build connections with people that are very deep, where you can just be yourself and let loose, even have deep talks in terms of like relationship stuff and girly things and like not have as much surface level conversation. And that's where like my feminine really does come out is like when I'm with my girls and we're talking and we're gossiping about boys and like our sex lives and just like the girly things that girls like to talk about. And so when you start to realize like who your like true friends are, building good deep conversations with them and like being comfortable just like being vulnerable with them will play a huge role. Like, get rid of those energy drainers. Don't need all those surface level friends. Like, you don't need like people that are going to constantly be bringing negative energy and conversation of like drama. Like, I've had to get rid of a lot of people in my life that just caused drama because it was all our like people in our group would ever talk about it. And I'm like, it's exhausting. Like, I want to talk about like my world, things I having going on, not like other people's drama. So having less friends and just more deep connections with like those fewer people has definitely helped. So yeah. And then number 7 is prioritizing your self care. May sound silly, but I promise you, taking time with your makeup routine, taking time with your skincare routine, like, there is nothing more like girly and fun than sitting at your vanity and doing your skincare routine and do your makeup routine and like just taking your time, blaring music and just having a fun like, I like there's nothing more I look forward to than, like, before going out and doing my makeup, and I would have never have said that 3 years ago because I'm like, makeup, whatever, I'll just throw it on real quick." No. Take your time with it, put on your favorite music, maybe pour yourself a drink, drink a Olipop, like, whatever you want, and just sit there and go to town on your makeup, but taking your time with it. Number 8 is adding more colors to your closet. One color that I lacked and I realized I would get so many compliments wearing is pink. So when I started to add in more pink, I was like, "Oh my goodness." Like, keep in mind, I only had one pink top, and that one pink top that I wore, I got so many compliments in it. So I was like, "Okay, you know what? We're gonna go shopping right now and we're gonna go buy a bunch of pink tops." So now I think I have like 4 pink tops and I've been adding more colors into my, palettes of, like, things I wear, and I get so many colors when I'm wearing colors. I get so many dang freaking compliments, and I love it. So, just adding in pinks, adding the blues, the purples, the bright colors, and I promise you, like, it's gonna be uncomfortable, like, "Oh my god, I literally never wear pink," but once you have it and you start getting the compliments wearing it and you just feel girly, you feel good, like, you're gonna start to radiate. Um, Number 9 is perfume. I never used to care a lot about perfume or like what I smelled like. I would just grab like whatever that cheap bottle, like the oh my god, Sol de Janeiro, whatever, like body mist. Like I would just use that. But having a good perfume that's strong, people can smell it from like 10, 15 feet away. Like you want to be that girl that walks in somewhere and everyone can smell you. So I have quite a collection of perfumes and I just will change it up based on like where I'm going and like I'll have a scent for like the occasion. So building up perfumes that are like worth your money and smell last long and people are complimenting you when you know you're wearing it and having things for certain occasions like it's just so girly and your man's going to love it first of all. Your man's going to think you smell good like it's something about it like I just love having perfume like for each occasion. Number 10 is stop trying to copy other people. Try getting in touch with yourself because what you like and your true identity instead of trying to be somebody else. So let me repeat that. If you're trying to be somebody else because you want to copy them, because you want what they have, you're not going to end up being what you want to be. You need to be your true self, let your colors radiate, and allow yourself to find what works for you instead of copying somebody. Because if you copy somebody, your true identity will not shine through what's on the outside. So your external self should not be copied because your internal self will get stuck and it will not radiate. And it will be shown quite clear that you are not being your true authentic self. So just doing what works for you. Don't get influenced by others and seeing like, "Oh, well she looks good in this, like maybe I should get this." Like yes, it's one thing to get like inspired and influence from like an influencer or whatever, but like if you're doing it with like your close circle of friends and you're like, "Oh, well, like, she's doing that. She looks good in that. Like, I'm gonna also get that." It's like you need to truly do what you want because of your identity and stop masking that to be somebody else. So, truly, truly, when you're making decisions on like what you want to purchase and what you want to wear and what you want to do, like, make it based off yourself and not other influences. And then number 11 is just confidence. You can fake it to make it and as long as you fake it to make it until you actually get to that point, like you will end up being confident. And it sounds delusional, but I promise you, like if you fake it to make it and walk with confidence, like there's nothing sexier that a man loves than confidence. And so if you are confident and you are faking it to make it, you will have this radiant energy of people just wanting to be around you. And when you have those people that are wanting to be around you, that's when your true confidence will actually come out. So yes, it sounds delusional, it sounds crazy, but fake it to make it until that radiant energy that is coming out that may seem fake at the moment, people will find sexy and attractive. They will radiate towards you. And then that's when your actual confidence will come out because it's honestly with everything, like, fake it to make it, fake you're happy, like, whatever it is, like, truthfully, like, fake it to make it with the confidence, and I promise you, one day you will wake up and be like, "Holy shit, I actually am really confident." Like, I love my life, I love myself, I love what I look like, and, like, you will find that happy place, it's just gonna take time, like, for me, I wouldn't say like, "Oh, I was miserable," or I just, like, wasn't I never found myself because like, I think I was, like, I never really copied anyone to get to a certain place, like, it took me trial and error of buying things and trying things on, like, I've had to donate a lot of clothes throughout this process, but, like, honestly, I'm happy that I was able to do it and get to this point because I've never been so happy and confident in myself to be able to take this back seat, let other people just, like, go, and I'm holding their hand, like, I'm talking about my boyfriend right now, but, like, it just feels good knowing that, like, I'm so in my feminine energy that I've been able to take a back seat and just feel pretty and confident and successful. And when you are radiating that to the outside world, that's when you will attract like minded people and you will just have a really good circle of people that you can all bounce off of and just have no negative energy, no competitive nature. And yeah, you're just gonna be so happy. So I hope this episode was able to help some of you guys out. Finding your feminine is very, very confusing. It's a long journey. You're not gonna wake up overnight and be like, damn, like I'm a confident queen. Like I love being girly. Like it's gonna be very uncomfortable for a while. And like following influencers definitely helps. Like I had to follow a bunch of like makeup influencers for a while because I was like, fuck, I don't even know what I'm doing. So like doing that. And then obviously following like fashion people, but I never really like finding my fashion really just came from, like, the actual experience of going out into the malls, going to the shopping centers, and, like, shopping. That's for me how I was able to do it. It wasn't necessarily from, like, seeing what other people were wearing, but, like, just getting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone, and being proactive with it is how you'll end up getting to where you wanna be. You can't just take the back seat and expect, like, your life to change and be more feminine. Like, you need to be proactive with your decisions and what you're gonna be doing to get to that point. So yeah, hope you guys found this helpful, and, I know I said it last week too, Q&As. Y'all, we're gonna do it in 2 weeks. Please make them juicy questions, please, I beg you, like, there's nothing I love more than just, like, yapping on this podcast and, like, oversharing. People may say, like, "Oh, that's my toxic trait. That's, like, a red flag when it comes to being, like, my friend," but guess what? Um, I don't really want a big circle, like, at all. I want my circle to be pretty small, especially at this age with, like, realizing, like, a lot of people aren't sticking around. Like, living in Austin and trying to make friends, like, I'm realizing a lot of people are, like, packing up and leaving or, like, going back home or moving to another city, and it's just like, fuck, like, getting your twins and your friends in your 20s, like, is hard, so just, like, find those really close, like, knit people that you know are gonna, like, stick around and be those people, for you. So, yeah, I don't know, random rants, um, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys, and I'm so happy that I've been able to, give back to so many of you guys over the last few episodes. Not sure when the next giveaway is gonna be. I'm hoping it's gonna be this episode, but we'll see. I'm in the works with Donatas about that gift card that I'm gonna be doing. But it has to be with somebody in Austin because it's gonna be a like physical gift card that I'm gonna have to like give to you. Not a virtual one. So because it's gonna be like a goodie basket. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. But we'll touch base soon. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.